Hey guys, I'm Devin de Lima, and this week I want to talk about something that's been highly requested, which is Invisalign Refinements. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you first have Invisalign, it's called a clean check. For example, I had 30 trays that I had to go through for my clean check, which is just kind of like, let's hope this works, and if it doesn't, then we'll do some refinements, which is essentially a whole new clean check. Now, the number one question that I get asked is, why is there even refinements to begin with? What went wrong? And I think that this is a question that even I used to ask a lot of, why didn't it just work the first time? For me personally, there was a tooth on my left side that just randomly stopped hooking onto the trays. All the other teeth were moving fine, but it just didn't go to where it needed to go in the last 10 to 12 weeks of my initial clean check. It was frustrating to really see that process happen, but it is what it is, and I'm now doing refinements. I think another part that a lot of people forget about is that the orthodontist might not realize what works best for your teeth until they try different things. For example, in order to move that tooth now, as you can see, I have a whole new rubber band that goes from the inside of my mouth to the outside. That wasn't there before during my clean check, and the only reason it's there now is because it needs more force behind it to move it quicker and to kind of anchor into where it needs to go. Other things that might come up in refinements are honestly just a lot of spacing issues. It could be something where a tooth didn't move when it was supposed to. Your bite might still be off when it needs to like line up correctly, so you might just need more time with rubber bands, things like that. There's a lot of different variables that can come into play with refinements. So I've been wearing my Accelerant still for 20 minutes a day, and if you don't know what that is, it's essentially this little mouth guard thing that vibrates for 20 minutes, and then it kind of expedites the entire program. Essentially, what you usually do with Invisalign is wear your trays for 2 weeks, but with Accelerant, you only have to wear them for 1, which is great. It cuts everything in half. It is more expensive. You have to lease the product, things like that. Because if any questions about that, leave them in the comments down below. But I've also done a video on the Accelerant, which you can find in the playlist on my channel for honest answers about Invisalign. A lot of questions I see is people asking, you know, are the refinements better or worse than the initial clean check? Obviously, this is going to depend on case by case. But for me, it's about the same. It's just like an extended clean check. I originally had 30 trays for my clean check. I think it was around 24 we stopped going with it because there was just no point because that one tooth wasn't moving. They did a whole new 3D scan of my teeth and sent it out for new trays. They came back to me with 22 new trays of what's my refinements, but luckily it's only about 12 of them are actual moving trays, while the rest of it is just kind of retaining everything. I think I'm having 10 weeks of retainment as opposed to usually 4, simply because there's a lot of movement in a short amount of time, and they want to make sure that things don't just drift back to where they were. Another frustrating part is the fact that they didn't take off any of my attachments. Now, if you guys don't know, I had 24, I think, attachments on like pretty much all my teeth. And they didn't take off a single one for my refinements, which was disappointing. In fact, instead, they added a button. So now you might be wondering, what the hell is a button? And same thing that I wondered. Essentially, it's a hook or a little silver dot that they put in the inside of your mouth. They adhere the same way that they do the attachments, and sometimes you use them for your rubber bands, or you might use them for other things. I'm not entirely sure what. I can't think of anything else that you would need, but that's why I have one on the inside of one of my teeth. It's the bum tooth, as I refer to it. That's helping anchor it in. Now, I'm really ready for Invisalign to be done. And that's not because it's something that's hard to do. It's more of a nuisance than anything else. And I'm just really excited to have a great smile that I can be proud of and I can be so happy with and things like that. I'm looking forward to it just being done. Again, Invisalign for me has been a pretty painless process. It's also been something that I don't think I really have room to complain about how long it's gone on. It hasn't even been a year since I did Invisalign like the first time around, so like I need to like calm down and realize that I'll be done within a year with straightening my teeth, and then I never have to worry about it again. So yeah, I know. Hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I put out new videos every single Saturday. Please check out all the other videos I have on Invisalign. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'm always on here. I'm always ready to answer your questions, because my goal is to be the resource for you guys that I couldn't find for myself when I was researching Invisalign. So think of me as your guinea pig. If you have questions for me that I don't know how to answer, I'll ask my orthodontist so that you don't have to be embarrassed about it. Until next time, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week for another brand new video. Later!